Hello world, it is Sheila, and today let's chat about ISFPs and career choices. The sky is the limit, really. I mean, we could do anything we want that we set our hearts to, what our passions are. So I want to chat about why I chose what I chose and how it served me well as an ISFP. So it started very young for me. When I was about 6 years old, 6, 7, I don't know, somewhere in there, I remember my dad taking me to get a haircut. There was this beautiful lady, her name was Audrey, and I remember that because my uncle dated her for a little bit after the fact, but she was this blonde who I just thought was so glamorous and so sweet, and she gave me this cute little pixie haircut because in the 1970s every girl looked like a boy in the chopped up pixies. And after the haircut, my dad had taken me to a lake. We used to go because we used to love fishing, but we didn't go fishing that day. But we went to the lake to see how everybody was doing fishing, and we walked out to the dock, and I remember laying and kind of like hanging over the dock and playing with the water. And for some reason I had slipped off the dock into the water, and I didn't make a big kerplunk. It just kind of like whoosh, and people didn't notice I was under. And I remember like being under the water and coughing and choking and kind of like bobbing up, and then I remember kind of going down again and kicking and splashing, and then somebody had reached in and grabbed me and pulled me up. And the first thing I said when I got out of the lake, I almost died, but as a 6-year-old you don't know death, and so I said, "Oh no, my hair is ruined." And I was so upset because my new hairstyle just got ruined going under the water. My dad's all upset on the dock thinking, his kid's about to die, and I'm worried about my hair. And throughout the years, I would cut my hair, I'd cut my sister's hair, cut all my dolls' hair. I loved makeup. I was just a very girly girl, yet a tomboy too, because I played all the sports. I mean, any sport I could play, I played. So I could be very girly girl when I wanted to, but then just I would, play with all the boys in the mud and sports, and I was a little wild child in that aspect too. So I went to college for 2 quarters and took the basic classes, didn't know what I wanted to do, and I remember taking photography, and I absolutely loved photography, but didn't think, oh, you could make a career with photography. I didn't know. And so I said, I don't want to do this school thing. And so I remember dropping out and moved in with a girlfriend and kind of took a few months off, and I had to decide, I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I said hair. I have always loved hair, makeup, skin, and so I said, I'm going to go to cosmetology school. And growing up in Minneapolis, we had a Veda horse. It was called horse back in the day. And so I enrolled, and that was my career for 20 some years, was hair. And what I loved about hair was being creative. Every day I got to express my creativity through my cuts, through colors, through all the hairstyles. And yeah, it was like an art form. So for me, hair was my medium, and every day was something different, new clients. And even if it was a returning client, they might have wanted something new and asked my opinion about what would look good. And you just got to be so creative, and I loved that aspect about my job. And then I did that for quite a few years and decided I didn't want to work for somebody anymore, because that IP in you're like, don't control me, bro. I want to do my own thing. I don't want a boss. And so I started a salon in my home, and I could make my own hours and kind of pick my own clients. There'd be people that would come, and I'd be like, not a fan of them, so they'd call and make an appointment. I'm like, sorry, can't get you in for like 3 weeks, and then just make it really tough. mean, but you know, there's just some people you just couldn't please. No matter what you did, they were never happy. And I'm like, just go to somebody else. Obviously, I can't make you happy. So it was so great to be able to just have that freedom and your own hours. And if you needed a day off, you didn't have to be like, oh, I need a day off. You just didn't schedule somebody. And I loved that. I couldn't imagine going to a job like my mom. She worked in a factory job and did the same thing over and over and over every day for years and years and years. And she never complained. She just got up and went to work and did her thing and come home, and there's just no way. There's none. So I think for an ISFP, it's so important to have that freedom as much as you can, have that creativity, because if I'm not creating something in my life, I am not happy. I don't feel complete. I don't feel like I'm me if I can't create something. And it can be anything, even down to a fancy meal for a day, or designing window boxes, or just landscaping, sewing, painting, remodeling, decorating the house, hair, makeup. I have to create all the time, or I'm just like, ugh. And so I think, yeah, for ISFP. And then also part-time, I sewed, and I had a little shop on Etsy. I designed kids' clothes and created and sewed that, and loved being able to create. And I would bet you, if you did like a test on Etsy, I bet there are a high percentage of ISFPs on Etsy, because that is such a freedom-based creator, designer. And I love that. I love supporting Etsy people too. I'm always looking on Etsy, looking to buy something unique, because that is important. I love being unique and not having something that everybody has. And I love supporting small businesses, because there just might be stay-at-home moms like me that love and have this passion to create, and I want to bless them with that. So yeah, I think for an ISFP, something that you can just create and freedom, you're going to be happy in your career. And you don't have to stay in one career, obviously. For me, doing hair worked for years and years, and I loved it. And now I miss it a little bit. When we moved out to the farm, we moved an hour away from where my clients were, and I had a few that were like, I'll come that hour, but we have this small little farm home, and we just don't have the room to make another little salon. I suppose if I really wanted to do hair, we could do that, but I rode that horse hard for many years. I put her out to pasture. So the only people I do hair with now are my sister and my daughter. Even my husband, he's learned how to shave his own head, because that's just easy. And I miss it occasionally, but I'm in a different chapter now, and with homeschooling my daughter and farming, I'm loving life. So yeah, I think the sky's the limit with anyone. I mean, don't box yourself in. If you want to do something, just go out and do it, and don't be scared and have any fears. And if you fall flat on your face, then get up and put a ice pack on your nose and put some concealer under your two black eyes and just keep on going. So thanks for listening. I'm super excited today. I get to go pick up my husband. He's been gone for 6 weeks. I haven't seen him. He's been out in California working, and he usually doesn't travel, and I missed him. I'm very independent. I figure out everything, how to do everything that needs to get done, but being able to have that person in your life that you just can share your life with, there's just nothing like it. So I am super excited to pick my husband up tonight and see that little face of his. Oh, I miss him. So, all right, just wanted to pop on and say hi to everybody, and we will chat with you soon. All right, have a wonderful day.